Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's Thirsty Thursday evening, and I'm getting like CeeDee Lamb. Aren't y'all sick of this shit yet? Aren't you sick of the same old bullshit that we keep doing? Because all I keep hearing is the Cowboys should trade Micah Parsons and get rid of him. He's a bum and yada, yada, all that other stupid shit. It's crazy, and I don't think people seem to understand the impact that Micah Parsons actually has on the defense. Because here's today I see another article that comes out that the Cowboys should trade Micah Parsons for a weapon, trade Micah Parsons to Seattle for DK Metcalf. That DK Metcalf that's the play to make. The Cowboys are better off getting rid of Micah Parsons instead of paying him. Okay? Let me go through here. I may have just messed up, opened up the window, but hold on. Let me see if it messes. No, it's still good. Okay. I want you to take a look here. This is our game logs from last season, okay? And let's see. I don't know if my thing. Okay, good. It does work. You just can't see the cursor. What I want you to look at here is these are the game logs from last year. There's the before injury and the after injury Micah Parsons, okay? Before Micah Parsons got injured, we had the Cleveland Browns game, which was more the exception than the rule. We got 6 sacks in that game, and we looked like we were a decent team. That was before we found out the Browns were just ass. Then Micah Parsons went out after the Giants game. And what I want you to notice when you look at the Pittsburgh, the Lions, San Francisco, and Atlanta game, what you'll see here is 0 interceptions in those 4 games. And the most sacks that you saw were 3 sacks in each of those games. Okay? We were just awful. We gave up 47 points to the Lions. We gave up 30 points to San Francisco. That was a wounded animal. We gave up 27 to the Atlanta Falcons. Then Micah Parsons comes back for the Eagles game. Mind you, we still got mollywopped. I'll give you that one, so don't hold that against me. But what you noticed is we finally got an interception. We ended up getting 5 sacks in that game. We go in against the Houston Texans. We get a sack and we get an interception. We go against the Commanders. We get 2 interceptions and 4 sacks. Against the Giants, we get an interception and 6 sacks. We go against Cincinnati, close to winning that game if it hadn't been for the foul up with the punt. But 2 sacks and an interception. Tampa Bay, interception, 4 sacks. I'm sorry. I skipped over Carolina. Carolina, 2 interceptions, 6 sacks. Tampa Bay, 1 interception, 4 sacks. Nothing against the Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, but 6 sacks against Washington. That's all the result of the impact of having Micah Parsons. Let's be clear here. This defense is markedly better just adding that one player to the defense. In the games that he was gone, we did not get a single interception. And people will say, well, of course we did. I mean, who cares? He's an edge rusher. Understand there's cause and effect. If you've got a guy beating down on you and putting pressure, then it's a lot harder to make completions. You've got to hurry up and get the ball out. He is truly a difference maker for the defense. Getting rid of him, excuse me, getting rid of him for DK Metcalf is not going to make us a better team. It's not. We have been on teams where we score a whole lot of points. We've led the league in points many, many times. And it still hasn't gotten us to an NFC Championship game. Our defense has got to be better. And there's no way you're going to tell me that getting rid of Micah Parsons is going to make us better. Now, I hear what you're saying, that, the Cowboys have, 25 free agents. Well, half of them aren't worth shit. And most of them are chump change in comparison. This is nothing new. The fact that we are sitting here right now today on the plus side of the salary cap is exception as opposed to the rule. Usually we're about 25, 30 million in the in the red, and having to cut players or restructure just to get to zero. We've got about 18 million that's going to roll over, plus the extra money that's coming. And for all those out there that's saying, just trade him so that way we can save money. Hello, you can save, by some people's estimations, I'm not sure how you get to 18 million, but I think you save about $14 million by signing him to a long-term deal this year. That'll help you sign the majority of these free agents that you're talking about, because some of these free agents that you're talking about are bottom-tier players. Linval Joseph is not a $10 million player. He's about $1.5 million. And the majority of the guys that we have are like that, except for Osa Indigizua. The rest of the guys are not big payday guys. And you have things that you can use. Now, Mia Combs, I don't want to put this up on the screen because I'm afraid that it'll get copyrighted.
It's certainly not enough to trade him. And the idea that just because the front office made the mistake of not paying him early, which I think we all agree is a mistake, means now they should make a mistake even worse by moving on from him.
Thank you.
Letting draft picks, in hopes that they might get a player like Micah Parsons. That's nonsense. They should keep him. They should pay him. And then you can figure it out with the rest. It's not an untenable cap situation to pay him and restructure Dak Prescott. I've looked at it. It is entirely possible for this team to do this.
Yeah, they can pay him, but then how does your team get markedly better from what it was last year? They got 25 free agents, y'all.
Time out.
They got Osa Indigizua,
This ain't unsportsmanlike.
Trading him?
This ain't hold on, y'all. Hold on. This ain't unsportsmanlike. This is First Take. We have this segment because you brought up culture. You brought up the podcast. You brought up the locker room. Now, we can go back and forth in terms of the numbers. We playing a numbers game. All right, he's one player. You're already paying CeeDee Lamb and Dak. You add Micah Parsons to that. It's problematic. I got that part. You could go either way with what you said or Mina saying you can restructure his deal or what have you. I'm not debating that. The reason this is a segment, First Take, the reason this is a segment is because you brought up culture. You brought up the podcast. You brought up the locker room and the comment about Mike McCarthy. That is the reason we are talking about this subject. If it was just a matter of numbers, we wouldn't have been addressing this. We did this days ago. We did this because you went on the air and you brought up culture and blamed him, which to me is crazy. That's just crazy. You don't blame Micah Parsons for culture in Dallas?
Well, Stephen A., if I'm going to pay a guy $40 million a year, he's going to have to be a part of the culture being a good thing, not something that my organization and the rest of my locker room has to overcome.
So I can pay a dude 40. I can pay a dude 60 that can't get it done, but I'm having a problem playing a brother 30 to 40 who does.
There you go. But here's the thing. As we're talking about the Cowboys have all these free agents, right? As I'm looking this up while we were going through here, because as we keep going through and telling you all the things that the Cowboys can't do, the Commanders have 28 unrestricted free agents heading into March. 28. Bobby Wagner, Jeremy Chin, Benjamin St. James, Noah somebody, Dante Fowler, Zach Ertz, Terry McLaurin. So we've been told how much money Washington has, but they've got more free agents than we do. New Orleans Saints are sitting here at minus $54 million, which, mind you, I'm going to say last year I think there were $75 million to start it off. So that's nothing new for them. And they have a lot of free agents. Minnesota has $58 million in cap space, but they have the left side of their offensive line for the second half of the season. Let's see, the biggest questions. They've got 26 free agents. The Jets have 20 million, and of course they've got a boatload of them. San Francisco has 48 million in cap space, but Remember, they got to pay Brock Purdy as well as other guys. So as we go through here, we're not in as bad a shape as some of the teams. Atlanta is minus $11 million, and Miami is minus $11 million right now. So there's perception and there's reality. The thing is you could go ahead and say, let's trade Micah Parsons, and get some draft picks because they'll be cheaper. But the reality is there aren't many players out there that play like him. As I just pointed out, the Cowboys are a better team, marketably better on defense with Micah Parsons than without. So you find a way creatively. And this is the thing that really just irks me and I don't understand why we do not do this, is why don't we have a guy whose sole job is to calculate the salary cap and do contracts? Are you telling me that we can't afford somebody to save us money? To just be a check on what Stephen Jones is doing to see, is there a way we can save money? Am I crazy on that one? If you're telling me that me hiring somebody for, say, $1 million a year, let's say, and he might save me $20 million on the cap, that would be a bad thing? That's not a worthwhile investment? Because the solutions that people have for the Cowboys are simply ridiculous. Trade Dak and get rid of him. How many good quarterbacks are there out there? We saw how it is with Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush rated out as the 36th best quarterback in the NFL. How good did that do? Drafting a quarterback doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a Super Bowl winning one. You got one who's proved he can play. Then why don't you put pieces around him by using the tools available? Getting rid of Micah is the dumbest take there is. As always, we're full of dumb takes around here. As always, I appreciate you guys. Peace out.